live tonight from, well, this afternoon. Either way, live in a sense from Daytona International Speedway. It is the Flatout Racing League here for their first race of 10. It's going to be quite interesting. Of course, starting out with 100 laps here at Daytona, this is the Racing Line Broadcasting Network. Exciting race for sure coming up here at Daytona, and it's going to be even better with the new Daytona Rising that's been added back in, this past month, a couple weeks ago with the Daytona Rising. So, newer grandstands, higher grandstands, essentially. I believe the drivers' meeting is still underway for the moment, but other than that, it's going to be something to really look forward to. New aero package is also in effect here, so it's pretty much everything new that's going to be affecting this race. Thanks for joining in, tuning in as well. As per usual, I am the only one-man person running this. I am Gary Weaver. Thanks again for tuning in here for this afternoon's race, this evening's race, whatever your time is in your area where you're watching this. We have 31 drivers here that are possibly scheduled to race. I believe it's all 31 that are here as well. So 31 drivers total in this race here at Daytona. Over 100 laps. It's going to be quite interesting, actually. It's going to be something to look forward to. Go ahead and make your predictions on who you want to win here in this race. You will find out who's in this race in just a couple of moments. I believe I could actually go over the starting grid as of right now, although I'm 100% unsure if it will be proper. Let's find out, and it's not even set yet, so there's that answered. So just gonna have to wait, unfortunately, for a couple minutes, maybe a little bit shorter, depending on whether or not the drivers' meeting ends early tonight. But other than that, 31 drivers here set up, ready to run for this race. I'm assuming, and I'm predicting at least, I should say, that's going to be at least possibly a two-stop race, because these things last for about 40 laps in a single run. About 35 to 40 laps, that's going to be our pit window to expect. So about lap 35, 40, maybe early under caution. That could be something that we will be expecting for this race. So as we wait for this race to get underway, let's take a look at Daytona Rising and its release video. That was released on iRacing just a while back, just as the update was getting released. So that was Daytona Rising pretty much in a nutshell. We are back and we have the starting grid set up and ready for you to take a look at here. So starting on the front row is going to be Shane. Oh, goodness. Let's see if I can get the name pronunciation up before I say his name. That's going to be Shane Terrian. So I was going to be correct. Adam de Blasio starts in the second place position to his outside. Starting in third place, it's going to be Grant Davis. Joshua Adams on the second row, third and fourth respectively. Brandon Key starts in fifth place, riding out the top five. Jesse Carr starts in sixth. Seventh place is going to be Bradley Burks. Eighth place is Michael Laria. Matt Dyer starts in ninth, and riding out the top 10 is going to be Robert F. Kenny. Bronson Stafford starts in 11th, 12th place. Chris Wright, 3rd place. Casey Shue, 4th place. Joseph Tias, I believe. Number 5 machine is Tice, actually. So apologies for that mispronunciation. Jason Deal starts 15th. 16th, Michael Fennelson. Is how he wants it pronounced. Ryan Hartz starts in 17th. 18th is going to be Philip Radachik. 19th, Cody Griffin. Rounding out the top 20 is Matthew James. And then the remaining 11 drivers going to be going by on the bottom of your screen here as we put focus onto the cars that are already on the racetrack for the time being. And they're already down the back straightaway. So a few custom numbers with these drivers here tonight are being shown off. That's another part of the update from the March build. So seeing these custom numbers on these cars is going to be quite interesting. Pretty much everybody has custom numbers, I believe. So these paint schemes are going to be looking a lot more fluid here for tonight. Pace car gets ready to roll off into its safety of pit road for the first time tonight. 100 laps are underway here at Daytona as we go green for 250 miles. So coming to the trial start-finish line, it's going to be Grant Davis with the first lead lap, I believe. Well, technically the second one, since your poster Shane Terrian had led the first lap coming to the green. So lap 2 is being taken over by Grant Davis in that number 24 machine. With a little bit of help from Adam de Blasio on the top side, down the back straightaway. Now he's got some help from Joshua Adams. I've seen Adams around before, and there's a little bit of a show-off of the custom numbers, I believe. And that's through Grant Davis and Adam de Blasio, the 24 and 21. I believe a few other drivers, the 88, 12, 11, 44, 50, pretty much everybody. So everyone utilizing that as much as possible. And drag race to the start-finish line. Who will lead the third lap? 21 of de Blasio at the line. That's your third lead change in the third lap of this race. And already multiple drivers still side by side. Instead of the usual one lane pulling away, it's multiple, again, just everyone just sticking side by side. And the arrow, I believe, has been changed just a little bit from the newest build. You can see that Alan de Blasio is getting a little bit of help from the 88 of Josh Adams here. Coming off turn number 4, it's still going to be just barely. Look at how close that 88 is to the back bumper, pretty much on top of it. Let's see if we can get a look downwards. Probably not, but that lap was led by Adam de Blasio, just barely on the top side, but now slowly starting to go to the inside lane. Grant Davis is heading at that inside lane with a little bit of help from Shane Terrian, just directly behind him in that number 38. You can visibly see that run getting an advantage to the inside lane. So up number 5 here at the start-finish line. Taking a little bit of focus in the back portion of the field. Someone's already dropping off the pace. That is Jason Deal. He is dropping off and in almost into somebody else by mistake. He's trying to drop back to the field. Honestly, he should have waited to the back straightaway, but it does make sense that he wants to get out of there as quickly as possible. He's still low on the back straightaway, so a near incident there, but pretty much from a 19th on back, and that's number 3, Ryan Hart's 19th. On back is pretty much single file, or just a little bit straggled here. Just a little bit of, pretty much nobody knows what to do, and look at this. Joshua Adams now back into, well, starting to get into the lead, I should say, not back into the lead. He led that lap that last time around. So it's the 4th driver now to have the lead change. So de Blasio had went to the inside lane, and that's going to give the momentum to the outside, the 88 of Josh Adams, and just directly behind Adams is the 11 of Jesse Carr. Just directly behind him is Michael Larry in the 44, but look at this, the inside lane with a huge burst of momentum on the entry to turn number 3. My question is anyone going to go to the top side? Maybe try a little bit of a fake out. Doesn't look like it. Davis and the number 24 is not going to move to the outside. Looks like he was going to move, but he decides against it for the time being. These cars look so much more stable now, though, now that I'm seeing this. A little bit of cloud cover here, and someone's smoking on the back straightaway. I don't know if that was the back straightaway, or at least turns 1 and 2. Not sure who or what that was, but I believe it was Jason Deal in the 81. Take a look back at this on your replay here in just a few moments, and it was... oh man, huge technical issues. That's what that was for the 81. So a huge spike in the connection of the 81, but other than that, everyone's doing fine for the most part. So they head back down into turns 1 and 2. Everyone's still side by side. We're probably going to do a lot of sights and sounds here, just listening to the sounds of these cars as they just fly by. Someone's off in the grass. Purple Machine. That looks to be the 13 of Matthew James. It is. And a little bit of front end damage too on that Ford Fusion. Back end damage as well. And that happened on the back straightaway, so we'll see. I did see him go into the grass for a little bit. Not sure if that damage was there before or not. It was there prior, so he had just fallen back off the pace. Here's a replay again of that. He just fallen back off the pace, decided to move to the inside, a little bit too far to the inside. That's where that grass was from. But other than that, back in the lead. As now it's going to be the 11 and the 88 side by side as Adams takes control of the inside lane. We're going to be seeing that a lot. No one from the outside lane has stayed in the outside lane. They've always dropped to the inside, so you may be seeing that from Jesse Carr if he can get enough help from Michael Laria up to the front portion of this field. A massive amount of drivers takes over the inside lane. Look at de Blasio. See if we can get an onboard shot. He's going to move to the top side. in front of Laria, so de Blasio is going to take over the lead again at the start-finish line. He's going to stay up top. No, he'll move to the inside. He's going to try and force the 11th car up to the top side, but decide that wasn't really worth it, since that would create a 3-wide situation, and we wouldn't have anybody left at that point. 90 laps to go, and so far it's been an exciting top 10, or first 10 laps. Your top 10 is, well, probably separated by about a half second. The interval between each driver, just about 0.1 seconds or less. So Josh Adams has moved up to the top side, doing the same thing that de Blasio is doing, not giving Jesse Carr a chance whatsoever to really try and get himself up to the front. And Larry is just laying off the back bumper, which is a very smart idea. And that's how close the 11 is. To the inside goes de Blasio back to the point. There's a 24 of Grant Davis helping him out. 38 Pulsar Shane Terrian hasn't really fallen off the pace. He's just been riding there. Third driver on the inside, fourth driver on the inside sometimes for a few laps ever since the start of this race. And look at this, Grant Davis now is going to move out to the top side. Can he take over the lead at the start-finish line? He does, I believe, at the last second. Yes, he does. So he's back in the lead for the second time. And look at this, no, that's actually Joshua Adams moving down to the inside. I thought that was Jesse Carr for a few moments. He's been stuck behind pretty much everybody for this for the first 13 laps of this race. Driver off the pace, just up ahead of the leaders. That is the 4 of Casey Shue. Although, if I remember him correctly before, as I've seen him a while back, I believe it's Casey Show. I may be incorrect on that one. So the outside lane is starting to really falter here. That's going to leave the outside lane barely open for Shane Terrian. Now the 21's gone to the top side. Terrian may have a shot to get back into the lead again. Side by side drag racing down the back straightaway. Advantage Adam de Blasio top side. He's not going to move to the inside, however, because here comes Josh Adams and Shane Terrian, the 88 and the 38 respectively, onto the inside lane, trying to get the lap left at the start-finish line, but it's going to go to de Blasio that time around. 15 laps being worked on, 14 complete. So it's still a side-by-side drag race on the back straightaway. There's a little bit of a bump, a very visible momentum difference there between those two and Josh Adams. They both move up back up to the front. There's Casey Shue on the top side. We're going to keep an eye on him. It's going to be a 3-wide situation here. So at this point, there goes the 24 to the top side, trying to get over to the lead. We're keeping an eye on Casey Shue, however. Looks like he will fall in line, just gets a piece of the outside wall. But for the most part, looks like he'll be doing A-okay. And, oh, it's going to be a triple car tandem there between the 24, 21, 28, or 88. That would have been nice if it was the 28 for the machine of Adams that he's driving. But unfortunately, it's the 88 for him. So Jesse Carr and Michael Laria, they're both finally getting a little bit of momentum, and right as I say that, they get the momentum on the inside lane, and it's pretty much over for the top side. Back to the start-finish line. Another lap led for that 24. And just in case you haven't noticed, the 24 and 21 have been working together to the point where, well, they are teammates of Flatout Motorsports. So they've just been trying to lead back and forth multiple times, trying to take control of the field. Ooh, a little bit of a brake check there, a little bit of a corking effect. Terrian backed off. Very smart move. There goes de Blasio up top. Looked like he hesitated for a bit, but he decided to commit. This is a great idea, though. This is a great strategy. It's cooling down both of their engines a few times, so they're going to be trying to lead every single time for a few laps. Unless other drivers can really come into this battle, like Jesse Carr. He's not even on a team. He's a little bit of a one-man person. Michael Laria is also part of Flatout Motorsports. Hasn't really joined the inside lane for the majority of this race. He hasn't really joined the 21 or 24 either, so a little bit of a standout driver from that team, but for the most part, doing pretty well. Another lap led to Alan de Blasio in that 21, with a little bit of help from the 11. It's very smooth and very solid 2x2 for pretty much the entire pack. We're going to give the mid-pack a little bit of interest here, as, well, probably not. We're tempted, very tempted. There's something that could be missed up here, so we'll keep an eye on that. But I'll just go with Ryan Hards for the number 3, who unfortunately makes a little bit of a corking effect there on the top side. You can say, I believe that was the 25, Thomas Bresci the third. He goes down to the low side. Cody Griffin, for instance, while he's been back here for a while, a little bit of a stutter there in the graphics, but he started 19th. He's pretty much dropped back for the most part, so nothing too good for him this early on, but he does have another 80 or so laps, just above 80 laps remaining here in this race. Ryan Hartz, well, he's pretty much went nowhere for the most part. His lowest position was 23rd, but other than that, he's went nowhere. Look at the inside lane checkup. That had to be something from up here. Doesn't look like anything too major, so very major corking effect there on the inside. At the line, oh, that was a close one. What was the gap there? We'll find out. Adam de Blasio had gotten that. We're going to take this out for a second. We're just going to see what the interval was at the start-finish line. That was 0.003 of a second. And just using this, we're using our finishing result graphic just as a reference here. Soon a actual graphic with that will be made in effect. That's the wrong button, unfortunately. There we go. So we got Joshua Adams here. Started 4th, didn't really move much. Same with Jesse Carr, also didn't move much. They're all just stuck here for the most part with nothing really to do. They don't really have any options aside from almost making it 3 wide if you're the 11. You could do that, but would you really want to this early on in the race is the main question. I say it is not. So while we are still early on in this race, go ahead and make your predictions on who you think is going to win at this race, because, well, with Flatout Motorsports, well, 2/3 of Flatout Motorsports taking control of positions 1 and 2 for the time being, both the top side and the low side so far looks to be in their favor, but of course that is very, very subject to change. Again, about lap 35 to 40 is going to be your pit window for these cars. You can see a huge majority of the field just still 2x2. Then now, yeah, there we go. Now we have the back portion of the field being single file. I was going to mention that earlier. Looks like Thomas Bresci is going to move up to the top side. Trying to follow is Cody Griffin in the 15, just trying to get a little bit of draft. stay with his main pack. And he'll get that draft. He'll get the momentum. That's Cole Stranahan to the inside in that 77. Let's go pick somebody random to ride on board with. And I'll go with 36 of Tyler Hensley. And you can see a visible accordion effect there. You can hear him left throttle just ever so slightly. And braking here is a very big mistake. Unless they're on the pit road or avoiding a wreck, there really isn't a reason to use the brakes. Or if you're too close to somebody and you're trying to not really get them into, or trying to not hit their back bumper too hard. That's why I just allowed the throttle to go half throttle, so he's not doing too bad for the time being. You see that he's peeking to the inside. He'll move up top now that it's clear for him. Trying to avoid the outside, the inside lane, and it's accordion effect. And still controlling the front of the field is 2/3 of Flat Motorsports with Adam de Blasio and Grant Davis. 25 laps have been completed, and well, normally at a certain break, at a certain point in the race, we would go over the top 10, but at this point, there really isn't a reason to go over the top 10 since it's constantly changing. So I will just refer you over to the ticker at the start-finish line for your top 10. As it cycles through your entire field, it is a static ticker. It will not update in real time. So for the time being, Adam de Blasio and Grant Davis swapping the lead back and forth. We're going to go double wide here so you don't really miss a single thing. This is the Racing Line Broadcasting Network here with the Flatout Racing League with its first race of 10. Don't go anywhere because you won't miss a thing. And we are back as pit stops are going all over the place. Tyler Riggs missed his pit box. So pretty much 18 seconds spent on pit road have just missed his pit box. Everyone else, your entire top 15, the rest of your field, all heading into pit road, I believe. Aside for, yeah, pretty much your entire top 15. So everyone is in pit road at this time. So it's 30 laps. So it could be just over a 3-stop race, maybe 2 stops, if drivers can save their fuel properly. 12 of Brendan Key had scraped the outside wall a little bit earlier on, so he does have what seems to be maybe a little bit of damage. I'm not seeing anything too visible on the side of that machine, so you should be good to go. As the rest of the field is down and away, your top 3 now on the racetrack is your top 3. Well, top 3 exiting pit road is your field at the moment. That's your lead pack, and it's officially your entire top 3 being Flatout Motorsports. Number 19 of Philip Radicic in 4th place. 5th place is going to be Ryan Dyson. And that may all come to an end here in a few moments, because the rest of your field that pitted just 1 lap earlier, being headed by Michael Fennelson, the 88 of Joshua Adams, and the 7 of Chris Wright, they could pull a challenge here. May just fly right by your entire top 3. We'll find out here. Coming off of turn number 4, they'll stick to the outside lane. And it will be a 2x3 battle here for the front portion of this field, for the lead. And it's going to be Fennelson and Adams getting ahead, but right now, Chris Wright has really nothing to do except just sit back and just watch this play out in front of him. Actually, they just backed off, so they will be gaining the lead here. Your entire top 3 has changed. And the only driver that has been in the top 3, that's in the top 3 now, is essentially just Joshua Adams. That's it. So it's going to be 3 wide now. Maybe a bit too early on for this, but I'll find out. That's being headed by Jesse Carr on the top side. And by the top side, I mean the very top side. And that did not work out in their favor. So 3 wide just unintentionally in the back of the field there. So Jesse Carr tried to make a move, and, well, unfortunately just did not pay out. He had the 19, and it looks to be the 51 just behind him that time, but it's not going to work out, and it didn't work out for sure, as the 28 has a little bit of a wiggle there. Trying to follow the 21. Trying to cool his engine down probably at the same time as well. So this entire portion of your field is pretty much just your top 10. And, well, 2 of them almost just made contact, as the 51 of Bradley Burke was following the 28. His a bit of a bobble in that lane. A bit of a long bobble, we'll call it that. But almost the 51 almost ended up getting turned, or at least tagged in the core panel just a little bit by Jesse Carr. Runs at your top 10. Here's 11th place. That's Shane Terry and your pole sitter. And here's 18th. That's going to be the 7-car field that we have here. It's rounded out by Matt Dyer, Chris Jordan, and Tyler Hensley, 19th and 20th. So someone's up on the top side. I believe that is a lap car, and it is. That is the 98 of Tyler Riggs. Falling back on the top side, unfortunately. But for the time being, Michael Fennelson has been leading the field for the past 3 laps, but that's all going to come crashing down in a few moments if the 24 and 21 can get back up front and control the top 2 lines once again. Now this 4th lap that time around was clearly led by the 14, so just a little bit of advantage at the line. Doesn't matter who leads them now, however. What does matter is who's in the lead off of turn 4 in the final lap. Absolutely no one is out of this race. It's all 31 drivers that have started the race are all still in the racetrack. Only 3 of which are at least 1 or more laps down. Tyler Riggs, Casey Shue, 29th and 30th. Both 1 lap down. Remember, Tyler Riggs missed his pit box as the 88 of Adams goes up to the top side. Try and take over the lead again. Start-finish line says that, well, that's pretty visible actually, so it's going to be the 88 that time around. Tyler Riggs had missed his pit box, I believe. Just passed through pit road, I believe, twice. Did not come into his pit box. Casey Shue has went into pit road, but he's 1 lap down, unfortunately, from earlier on after losing the draft. And Jason Deal has been a few laps down, 8 laps down, actually, for a while. He's been sitting in pit road for about 2 minutes. He's still on the racetrack now. Actually, it was the 81, that fell back and lost the draft. Casey Shue has a cylinder paint scheme, that's why I got that confused, but he is sitting right there, so not sure why Jason Deal was sitting in his pit box for almost 2.5 minutes, but that was the case. At the start-finish line, it was Joshua Adams with his 8th lap lead. Now it's going to be the 14, just peeking out ahead once again. A little bit of help from Chris Wright in the number 7. And he did start 12th, so we haven't really seen him up here. This is the first time we've seen him up in the top 5, essentially. Could be the top 3 in real time in about 2 seconds. And there it is. Currently 3rd is the number 7 machine of Wright. I guess who gets this one at the start-finish line is Joshua Adams again by visible margin. Adams losing a lot of speed there on the top side. He's got no one directly behind him to push through the corners, which is a very smart move either way. You don't want to really bump draft anyone in the corners. It's, well, common sense as well as don't do it, just in general. So the lead has been trading in real time multiple times between, for the time being, Fenelson and Adams. That time it's Adams across the start-finish line. And interesting fact is that Adams is Fenelson is the only driver that is not in a Chevrolet in the top 10. That is saying something. Now this series, this league essentially is heavily dominated by Chevrolets. So it would be nice for Fenelson to really stick it to the massive amount of Chevrolets and say, well, you know what, you may have had a majority in the top 10, but didn't win the race. Of course, that's for the time being, at least whenever he's in the lead, because that time around it still went to Joshua Adams. 3 Toyotas, 11th, 12th, and 13th are Philip Radicek and the number 19. Actually, no, Robert Kennedy, in the number 34, and the 61 of Bronson Stafford. Then it's 3 Chevys again from Theis. There's that Tice. I gotta reread that last name. This is the, oh boy, 3 wide situation. We'll hold off on that. This could end terribly. 3 wide just in the back, so everyone is scrambling around for position there. 2 drivers, one's barely hanging off the apron there. Back to 2 wide racing, so everything has sorted itself out. We do have Joseph Tice, Brendan Key, Ryan Hartz. Another Ford in the form of Matt Dyer in the 84, Joshua Personette in a Toyota. 4 more Chevrolets for 18th through 22nd. A Ford Fusion in the form of Matthew James in the 13. Another Chevy from Thomas Bresci III, who I was looking at that incorrectly, but Cole Stranahan in a 77 and a Ford being pushed by a Chevrolet, followed by a Chevrolet in the 27 machine, who is, or the 2 machine, who's in 27th, 1 lap down. A Toyota and Tyler Riggs. He's 1 lap down. Same with Casey Shue. He is in a Chevy 1 lap down. Matthew Rodriguez been sitting in pit road with heavy front end damage. You saw him riding around on the apron. And finally, the field is rounded out by a Chevrolet in the form of Jason Deal. So, multiple Chevys here. I counted at least 18, I believe. I'll recount them here in a second. And that was just on the main driver list as well. "21 Chevrolets." That's why there are signs. I was counting them just to make sure and just to double check. But yeah, 21 Chevrolets out of 31 cars here, so no pressure. So that means at least, and it could be technically 50-50 chance of being 5 drivers in Fords, 5 in Toyotas. But that is not the case. Moving out to the top side, trying to control both lanes is going to be Josh Adams, but he's going to give the inside lane to Fennelson. So that means the Sunoco New England Racing Fuel Fastenal Ford Fusion in High Velocity Motorsports will be temporarily in the lead, as Joshua Adams says, well, you know what, just going to get a little bit of a push here on the top side, but now it's back to Fennelson. If we had a real-time ticker, and that can be a thing, but I'm just going to hold off on that. If we had a real-time ticker, that would just be swapping back and forth multiple times here. You'd just see everyone's names within, say, the entire top 10, just swapping positions every single time. So that makes me kind of glad that I have access to the names moving across as the positions change, because those will just be all over the place in typical Daytona fashion. At some points, there are a few drivers like Fennelson and Davis who are literally, they're so close that the gap is showing up as a hyphen, showing up as a dash. It is absolutely non-existent. Now it's back. I believe that was to the leader, actually, now that I think about that. Yeah, that is. So close to the leader in a sense. We're in between each other even. And look at this. Davis, top side, 3 wide. He's going to leave the 88 out to dry in the middle. That's not going to work out. That's not going to work out for somebody, and that somebody may be the entire top side. We'll find out. Well, Davis going front. Caution is out, actually, and the huge crash. It's the big one. There's a small one off turn number 2. Looks to be a few drivers straggling behind, but first caution of the day just before we get to halfway. I believe the 19 is involved in that for sure. And it was from the 3 wide situation, and it was the 19. It was the 19 of Radchik and the 51 of Berg. They made contact. We'll figure out what happened here as we ride on board. Actually, I'll take an exterior look here. So replay is up here right now, as the first caution is out. Oh man, just may have been, that took out about, ooh, the 5 took a hard shot, nowhere to go. That looks like it made about 5 cars. Tice may have gotten the worst of it. It doesn't look like it visually, but that was definitely an interestingly hard shot there. Yeah, the 19 made a little bit of contact with the 51's quarter panel during that low checkup. We'll get a shot of that in a few moments, but... oh. Ah, man, that was a great first avoidance, though, by the 5. I will give him that. And this is about 10 laps after pit stops, so we may not get any pit stops here, aside from drivers that are repairing their cars. as we will take a look here in a few moments from an exterior shot. We can get one. There we go. So another replay. Last one of this wreck. 19 moves to the inside. Just gets the quarter panel. That's about 5, maybe 6 cars. So it's not the big one. So we'll call it the small one for now. It's about 5 cars. So it's not the entire field. Thankfully enough. And I was incredibly wrong about drivers not pitting because, well, it's practically everybody that is in pit road. From first all the way down to 21st, 22nd. So once again, practically everybody is in pit road, not taking chances. .24 down in the way, first off pit road, second off going to be the 21. Third off Fennelson, fourth looks to be a 7. Fifth off pit road is Ryan Dyson. So a lot of drivers still sitting in pit road for a while. That's just to repair the car. More than likely. So the 98 of Tyler Riggs, he's directly behind the pace car. Same with Casey Shue. They are not on the lead lap, of course. Well, technically they're on the lead lap, but they're not, of course, in the lead. They decided to stay out, just right around. It's now starting to be everyone leaving pit road. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars or so. 7, 8, maybe 9 cars, it seems, staying at least staying way longer than the usual 15-second pit stops. Grant Davis may have just gotten tires only. Same with Adam de Blasio, maybe a little bit of extra fuel. 8.7 second pit stop for Grant Davis, 11.7 second pit stop for Adam de Blasio. Michael Fennelson has gotten 14.2 seconds. So we will hold off on what I was planning to do here. If the lights do go out across the line, lights will remain on. So I'm going to take a quick break here. This is, once again, the Racing Line Broadcasting Network. We are officially halfway through this race with only 1 caution so far in the Flatout Racing League. Don't go anywhere.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
And we are back here at Daytona International Speedway for the first of 10 races here for the Flatout Racing League. Next week, we head over to one of the tracks that actually could be coming back as it's been rebought. I saw an article on it. one of these tracks could be coming back, and I'm actually quite excited for that to hopefully happen. And well, that race is going to be Rockingham Speedway. I'm really looking forward to the race next weekend. I'm really hoping that I believe it was said that the track is planned to get refurbished, remade, something like that. So there is a chance that Rockingham Speedway could come back on iRacing in the form of a rescan, maybe. I'm personally not sure. But it would be interesting to see a little bit of an update to Rockingham, because I believe that scan of Rockingham has been around for probably since about 2012, I'm thinking. I may be way incorrect on that one. But it's around the time of their new repave. So Davis opts for the outside lane, de Blasio inside lane, Chris Wright third, fourth place. Actually, no, sorry, Fennelston third. Chris Wright fourth, fifth place, Jesse Carr. I may be incorrect on that once again. Real time isn't fun, but other than that, green flag is out. We are back underway, and Grant Davis is in control of the lead once again here at Daytona. The only driver on the top side is going to be Chris Wright. Jesse Carr going to possibly sneak around up to the top side, or just sit where he is right now and just be content with that. You can see how much debris there is there, how much these drivers have been running behind each other for a majority of this race. It looks like the outside lane is not going to be as prominent here in the second half. And, well, they're going to try their best to. Top side still headed by Chris Wright in the 7, directly behind him. It's to be the 88 of Joshua Adams. And I believe that's it. The person that was behind them just dropped out, and Fennelston opted for the top side, so this could get interesting. The 7 was all over the back bumper, and now it's going to be the 24, 3 wide, no. Well, the 21, not the 24. 21 looked like he was going to protect the top side. 14 moved up high. Thought it was going to be 3 wide there. And I thought the 21 de Blasio was going to protect it. And, well, it's looking. They're looking. Fennelston's looking to the outside, just ever so slightly, but I don't think he's really going to do that. That's one reason why Joshua Adams had gotten shuffled back. The second reason is the caution came out, and everyone had went to pit road. So it looks like for the time being, it will be a few drivers side by side and still in control of the lead. For majority of this race is essentially just Flatout Motorsports as a whole. The only person in Flatout Motorsports to not lead a lap is Michael Laria, who is finally on the inside lane, but he's in 8th, making that 7th in real time. But he's that 4th driver in line on the inside there. A bit of 3 wide here. It's not going to work out too well somehow, some way. Oh, goodness gracious. Somehow all those drivers managed to work it out. 58-29 and the 8. And right now, looks like everyone's going to be, well, double file at the very least. Grant Davis. Wait, hold on a second. Jesse Carr may finally have a shot getting the lead. But what he can do, though, just to separate the 21 and 24, is just stay there, just right where he is. Not let those two get any closer onto the, just to get in control of the field. So 44 laps to go. Who had that at the line? It was Jesse Carr. By how much? Well, it was by 1,000th of a second. My goodness. I wonder if there probably is. There is a portion where you can get the lead by 0.000 seconds. There's a 4th decimal, but there's no way to access it, I believe. So there's no way it can be shown on the scoring if it did come down to that. That's 10,000, so I believe. Other than that, Jesse Carr with his one and only lap lead could be getting removed by the 21 of Alan de Blasio. They both tried to move directly next to each other. Trying some way to really get control of that field once again as the 21, maybe even the 24 of Grant Davis. Oh, almost 3 wide. You could visibly see the drop-off that the 24 did. That was definitely a brake right there. I was definitely using the brake pedal. So 3 wide in the back once again. I believe that is Cody Griffin on the inside. Middle, I believe, yeah, it's a 36 of Tyler Hensley. Top side is Damian Leninger. And he'll drop back to the top side, so it's 2 by 3, 58 of Chris Jordan, creating a little bit of sparks, and that's going to stop everybody from... Nope, never mind. I was going to say it's going to stop everyone from going 3 wide, and Joshua Adams getting shuffled back 3 wide. You can see the visible run that the 3 of Hearts had gotten there. So Grant Davis and Alan de Blasio finally back in control, at least to some extent. I'm wondering if Dyson in the 28 here can help out the 11 of Jesse Carr and push him back up to the front, or at least enough to keep that 24 from not getting down to the inside lane. And it's a great job by Dyson, because he started 24th out of 31, sorry. 24th out of 31 drivers. You have to be careful with pushing there. You have to move directly behind the 11. There he goes. So 20 to 21 positions up, depending on real time or not. But in relative sense, 20 positions up from where he started. And he is doing a wonderful job at that. Staying up here in the top 3. Lowest was his starting position. You can visibly see. I've said that phrase a lot, but that's the main thing here at Daytona. Possibly an unintentional catchphrase soon on. Apologies for the drawing software popping up here. It's been doing that for a while, unfortunately. As Jesse Carr drops off the pace, at least off the top side. Getting right on board with Michael Laria. As somebody's missing heavily from this picture. It is the 21. Nope, there he is. I thought he fell back for a second. That's how far he's dropped off the pace. But look at this, Ryan Dyson getting pushed by Laria into the second place position goes the 11 of Carr. Took an onboard look from Adam de Blasio. And right back on board with Michael Laria, actually. So something very interesting is that, well, with this new build that we have, new package, new air package, you can see, well, if everyone can hold still here for a second here. There's the, oh, well, never mind. Well, there's the new lead, as well as the new spoiler of that clear portion. Well, I draw on it for a second, but we would, but it's way too visible at this point. Yeah, there's the clear portion of the spoiler, just above the regular part of the spoiler. This is now about an 8-inch spoiler, I believe, so that is insane. So Jesse Carr back in the lead with 38 laps to go. And right when I say that, he goes back up to the top side. So he's really trying to control this field. And everyone else is just completely staggered. 3 wide in the middle of the field. 4 wide down the back straightaway. This is not going to work out. Oh, boy. Oh, somehow 21 gets shuffled back. 12 in front of everybody. And there it is. Everyone in front. The big one in turn 4. Oh, I knew it was a matter of time. As soon as everyone had went 4 wide, everyone under the sun, aside from Fenelson, Laria, and Davis, I believe, has a bit of damage. The 77 may have survived that. The 28, not so much. Still trying to slackle through positions. We are back under caution for the second time. And that was I'm not sure. Well, we'll take a look at this here. We'll break this down. We have more than enough time at this point. So it's not the first time we've seen four wide here at Daytona, but oh my goodness, that did not go well. This had started pretty much all the way in the back straightaway. That's when all this has started. So we'll take a look at the 7. And you can see the 11 starting to fall back. He got shuffled through, makes it 3 wide. The 14 gets pushed by the 7. So give this assist to the 7. 28, 11, make a little bit of contact, and then it's just on from there. No one had really made it by. The 44 gets a piece of it, but no one had made it by clean. That's possibly about, oh man, what, 7, 10 drivers? Probably about 10 drivers involved. And that's pretty much everybody for the front half of the field. And then there was also the fact that there's the slow car, the 12, Brendan Key, who was slow on the inside lane. He didn't do anything wrong. I will say that right now. The 12 of Brendan Key did absolutely nothing wrong. He held his line right here, stayed where he was supposed to stay, and then he just got caught up in the accident, aside from a little bit of netcode avoidance. But I think the 44 was the only driver really to make it through the wreck with damage. That's Michael Lario once again. So pretty much everyone again in pit road. And we'll take an onboard look here. So the 11 loses momentum right about here. Oh, that's a quick camera turn. Falls back. That's what happened. The movement from the 24 puts the 11 4 wide. And there it goes. Larry did a great job avoiding the lap car, but here, maybe a little bit back end damage, but he did very good to avoid that. We'll take a look from his back bumper before we head back live. I believe he had gotten just a little bit of contact. So this is where the contact was made. Near miss. Oh, hard shot from the 29. So that's pretty much it from Laria. Fennelson had just gotten shoved through the field. This is way too fun, actually. We're just going to take a look at this entire thing, because he had gotten pushed through by the 7, starting all the way in turns 1 and 2. He moves up to the top side. If we can get a gearbox, there's the 7 of who is that actually? Unfortunately named Chris Wright. Sorry about that. It gets shoved through to the lead, by the way, and it was just right there. Yeah, that's where it was, trying to avoid the lap car. There's the caution, and you're the 14 immediately lift off. So that's what happened here at Daytona. So second caution, essentially the big one, and everyone is still trying to sort everything out. That car directly behind, I believe, is Casey Shue. It is. Bronson Stafford may be getting the lead as well. I'm not sure. Let's take a look here. No, he will not. It's only the 4 and the 51 that will be getting an air quote free pass at the 1 to go signal. So that was interesting. Under caution for the second time. And at this point, we may have drivers that are actually out of this race. And that is 4 drivers out of this race, which isn't too bad. 4 out of 31 drivers officially out. That's not too terrible. It's kind of disappointing for those drivers, however, for sure. But at this point, what can you really do? Once you're caught on the wreck at Daytona, it is pretty much over at that point. So this time around, we should be getting the 1 to go signal to the green flag. We'll be back underway, as it looks like teammates of 21 and 24 are going to be heavily separated. They're pretty much out of the running for the most part. At least the 21 de Blasio is. He's all the way back in 17th position. Some drivers hanging back in pit road. Yeah, the 17 is pretty much done as the 1 to go signal is given here. Yeah, that's 17. There's no way. Sorry, the 21. Sorry, not the 17. Yeah, the 21, however, is probably not even going to make the minimum speed if there is one. He is pretty much out of this race. A huge majority of the field just went to pit road. 11th through 17th. That just went to pit road. And including those drivers is Grant Davis and Michael Laria. They're both teammates of Flatout Motorsports. Laria has a little bit more damage than Davis, however, so it's going to take a while for these drivers to catch up. I'm not sure if they're going to delay the caution, but we'll find out if they do choose to do so. Ryan Dyson has damage. He's up here. I think he's got damage. Doesn't look like it. I'll zoom in here. Yeah, he's got a little bit of back end damage, front end damage. Look at the 8 there on the left hand side. A little bit of front end damage, not a lot. So pretty much just the entire front half of the field just got destroyed with their cars. Matt Dyer, the 13 of Matthew James, they look fine. So we may have drivers that are actually in the running for this race now, or sorry, for the lead. That is not Flatout Motorsports. So we will find out how well this goes with just over 30 laps to go at the start-finish line. Pace car pulls into pit road. Green flag is out. 33 laps to go at the start-finish line. We are back under green. I mean, at this point, you can see who's damaged and who's not damaged and who's trying to make a few moves here at the moment. Ryan Dyson under fire from Damian Lenninger. May have mispronounced that name, actually. It's, no, that was correct. 3 wide again for a split second. I was about to say that is not going to work out too well. Even 3 wide at this point just will not work. So top side goes Chris Jordan in the 58. At this point in the race, you can see who is and who is not damaged, just from judging by their back bumper in this case, the front bumper, the overall portion of the field. The 3 has damage as well on his back bumper. So that accident was enough to shake up a majority of the field, a majority of the running order. So much so that pretty much the entire top 10, aside from Shane Terrian, has absolutely no one, I believe, in the original top 10 starting positions currently in the top 10. Of course, I may be incorrect on that, as I don't have the information on this second screen here of where they started, but that's all I could guess at this point. It's Lenninger. It's Lenninger. Oh, trouble in the back. It's the 13 that's around upside down. 58 involved. Trouble again. Entering turn number 3. The 98 involved for sure this time. That's Tyler Riggs. Chris Jordan involved. I believe that's a single car number. That's the number 2. But Johnny Bolden, that's also involved. Just a little bit of movement we saw in the back straightaway, and next thing we know, it's caution again. And unfortunately, it's caution number 3. We'll figure out what happened here as we take a look from the chopper camera angle here in just a few moments. So we will take a look here. 58, second car in line on the outside, just barely taps the 14. At least I believe that's the 14. And 5 drivers for sure made contact there. Some worse than others. 6 drivers actually, now that I see the 98 making contact. There's a few other drivers. That is the 4 of Casey Shue, who I believe avoided that wreck by going through the grass. I'll find out here on this replay. Immediate left-hand turn just through the grass, cutting through turn number 3. Very great maneuver to avoid that wreck. I believe it was the 14 of Fennelson that had gotten tagged there in the side. It was coming off turn 2. Through the middle. Oh man, that was just... It looks like there was absolutely just no spatial awareness from the 58. Maybe tried to move to the inside. Didn't expect the 14 to be that close. I'm honestly not sure. But other than that, we are under caution. Majority of your field coming off of pit road. One of them being Damian Leninger. Joshua Personette second. Third off, Ryan Hartz. Fourth off, Shane Terrian. And fifth off is Grant Davis, Cole Stranahan, Robert Kennedy, Casey Shue, Michael Laria, and Michael Fennelson round out your top 10. Well, it looks like we're racing into the nighttime. We are not. It is a cloud cover. You'll know if it's nighttime just from the giant, beautiful orange sky that we may not see at this rate. So we're nearing 25 laps to go here. It's going to be an interesting final 25 laps as well to see, well, just to see whatever could happen at this point. Looks like some of those drivers that are lap cars, they stayed out there opting out to pit road and not take the free pass. So for the time being, the lights will remain active around the track and on the pace car. So we'll be going back to another commercial for the time being. Once again, this is the Racing Line Broadcasting Network with the Flatout Racing League. We'll be going green with 26 laps to go in a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
So as you can see, the lights are out on the pace car. We are back here at the Flatout Racing League race 1 of 10. Next week we head to Rockingham Speedway for a, oh goodness, for 195 laps, as that slipped my mind for a few moments. That will be a 195 lap race. Hope everyone is enjoying the broadcast, because this is going to be an interesting final 26 laps. Green flag is about to fly, and the field is in control of Damian Leninger as he goes to the green flag. And already your entire top three is broken away. 4th and 5th side by side, drag racing down for that position as well. Cloud cover has let up for the time being, and quickly a single file we go. So Damian Leninger in first place. Second place, Ryan Hart's. Third place, Joshua Personette. Haven't seen that name in a long time. And look at this, Hart's to the top side, gonna try and make a move. Should try whatever he can do as well. Through turns 3 and 4 they go, with 25 laps to go at the start-finish line. 3/4 of the race will be complete as we are stretched out 3 wide in the tri-oval. Still remaining 3 wide. Another driver has joined up. That looks to be Michael Fennelson in the 14. It is. A few drivers opting to take down to the at least the middle lane. Casey Shue was one of them. You can see how close he is on the inside lane. Another driver moves down to the inside. I think that is Shane Terrian. Other than that, though, number 3 is in the lead once again at Daytona. It's not the first time in history, at least the number 3 was in the lead. It may not be the last, but of course that is subject to change very heavily. So Fennelson is on top of the outside lane. Drag racing side by side down the back straightaway. He's got help from the 28 of Ryan Dyson, and almost they get shoved back up forcefully. Almost. Yeah, that 8 of Leninger's. I don't know if he probably got a little bit loose. Maybe tried to move slowly up to the top side, misjudged. That's another lap led to Hart's. That's a second lap led, actually. To the 14 of Fennelson getting pushed by the 28 of Dyson. The number 3 of Hart's getting pushed by the number 8 of Leninger. And then 5th place is Joshua Personette, just sitting here on the inside lane, just letting this all play out in front of him. 38, your pollster is Shane Terrian. A little bit of back end damage on the right rear quarter panel. You can see it's a little bit bent as they come off turn at number 4. Down the back straightaway, down the front straightaway they go. Lap time. Their person that led the lap that time around was the 14 of Fennelson. Contact. There goes Hart's down to the inside. That is going to be his race done for the most part, unless a caution does come out. But that was a lack of spatial awareness, unfortunately, by the 28 of Ryan Dyson. He followed the 14 straight through to the inside, and straight into the number 3 he went. It was off the racetrack, and the 3 had saved it at that point, so there's really no reason to throw the caution. It is admin-controlled cautions, from what I've seen. But it will be now Fennelson, Terrian, and Dyson, your top 3. Leninger just sitting here in the number 8 on the inside lane, and 3rd driver on the inside lane. Shane Terrian, however, don't forget your pole sitter, 2nd driver on the inside. Could find his way up here into the first place position in these closing laps. You can see his lowest position was 22nd here. Actually, take a look at the speed down the back straightaway. Just this next time around. We'll keep this graphic up, however. Trying to slowly force the 28 up the racetrack just so he can get just to the 38 of Terrian and get a little bit of momentum. 18 drivers on the lead lap. 31 have started. 4 are out. 2 of which are still sitting in pit road. Actually, 6 drivers are out. 2 drivers sitting in pit road. 4 drivers are behind the wall and retired. So we'll see what the speed is here down the back straightaway from Shane Terrian. Bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, top right of that graphic. 193 or 194. Max out. I saw 198 the last time around. There's 96. He's going to back off here. Very smart move. $19 laps to go at the start-finish line. And it's all Michael Falson for the time being. Michael Lariat back up here in the 4th place position, or at least the top 5, top 3. Yes, he was slightly involved in that accident from earlier on, the big one, the 2nd caution. We'll get a onboard view, and you can see how mashed in that back bumper is. You can see Shane Terrian as well. We're going to wait just a little bit. There it is. The quarter panel of Shane Terrian is pretty bent up. That's enough, though. Just it's not bent up to the point where he's losing any aero or momentum. So far, so good for the time being. It's just been a calm final few laps. The last driver in that package is Cole Stranahan. That's going to be Casey Shue. Those are the last 2 drivers in this 11-car pack. De Blasio spearheading the single file lane from 12th to looks to be about maybe 16th with a few lap cars involved. It's just possibly the calm before the storm here. Look at Damien and the 8. Trying to move up the field, trying to get by the 28. And he does, as the 28 is going to fall back on the top side, 3 wide. 8 of Leininger moves up now that the outside lane is open. Shane Terrian, it looked like he was going to move up top. Sides against it. Leininger way wide, almost. Door slams unintentionally the 99 at Personette. And coming back down to the middle lane to keep that 44 directly behind him. Closing in on the final few laps as we'll have 15 laps to go at the start-finish line. Damien Leininger could be making his first lap lead happen in these final closing laps. All these drivers look like they have enough fuel and tires to make it to the end. About 30 laps. A little bit of a quick 3-wide situation as they pass the number 8 there on the top side. Oh, sorry, that wasn't the number 8. That was the 4, I believe. Nope, not the 4 either. It's 81, but either way, apologies for the silence. It's just a little bit tense here in a sense because you're not sure if anyone's going to try and make a move. It's again, it's just the calm before the storm that we have here. Laria could be finally making his first laps led. Actually, he did at the start-finish line already, so he's finally the final driver in Flatout Motorsports to get a lap led here tonight. Still side by side, a little bit of separation on the inside lane between the second and third driver on the inside lane. 13 laps to go. There goes Dyson down to the inside, filling that gap. Laps are quickly winding down at Daytona. 14 to Fenelson. Whoa, diving up the racetrack. That was a little bit unsafe. Dyson could have put himself into the wall or took someone else out at that rate. He's lucky nothing like that had happened. Fenelson retains the lead. I forgot what my thought was before I was going to mention that, before that happened. Other than that, though, Damian Leninger in second. Dyson third. Michael Laria fourth, fifth place. Joseph Tice. There's that number 5. Falling back on the outside lane. Majority of this group now is trying to file into single file lanes. That may be the best case. Shane Tyrion, the closest that he's gotten to back up to first was second place in this run. He's fourth now, and he may have a chance. He's going to follow through with the 44. To the top side, they both go. There's 11 laps to go. The laps, again, still winding down. When we get to 6 laps to go, depending on where the field is, if the caution comes out, the race is over. Though this top 11 here, just sitting here side by side, that may not happen. They may have nothing to worry about, really. As far as the second group, we had Alan de Blasio and Jesse Carr, Bronson Stafford, Chris Wright, Tyler Riggs, and Ryan Hartz is all the way back here. So, majority of this pack is Well, it's 4 lap cars. It's 4 lead lap cars. It's mostly lap cars. Let's see how heavy the damage de Blasio has on the front end. After getting caught up in the big one. Our second caution off turn number 2. Just after the halfway point in this race. Actually, I may be incorrect. That may be. No, that actually was the second half of the race. Actually, I was looking back at everything over here just to make sure. Either way, though, 9 laps to go. Still single file for the most part. Michael Laria first place, second place, Fallison, third place, top side is the 8 of Leninger. He's got the 99 of Joshua Personette on the inside, who started all the way back in 25th. And he's got absolutely no damage. His car may be incredibly dirty, but he's got no damage. Look at this top side with the number 5 and the number 4. They're trying to make something work 3 wide here in the back of the field. Back of the pack, I should say, not the field. Back of a small portion of the field. 8 laps to go. They're going to try and make the outside lane work, but it's not going to happen. 34, Robert Kenny. Sorry, I believe I said Kennedy earlier. That's Robert Kenny, sorry, in that 34. . Three wide situation from Terrian. That's not going to work. A little bit of contact. A bit harder than intended of that contact as well. Between the 38 and the 5. A little bit of a close call. So Leninger is spearheading the front row. Look at this. We have that's a 77. He started dead last, and he's up here in the 5th place position. My goodness. I think this person, I think Stranahan can easily get the Hard Charger award if there is one. If not, well, he gets it anyways. 31st from dead last to was the moment, at the moment in real time, the top 6, as he's currently 6th. So he could have a shot as well. That would be absolutely impressive to see. Look at this, 3 wide in the back. This time it's just Casey instead of himself and the 5. And now it's going to be Kenny. Nope, never mind. I thought Kenny was going to move up top as well. That did not happen. So Fennelson back in the lead as he moved up to the top side to protect the outside lane. Maybe get it moving. At this point, we are at the point of no return, so caution comes out, race is over. But remember, cautions are admin thrown here for this league, I believe. I saw it seen earlier, so you may not get a caution depending on where the accident is. Oh, 49, the 99, 44 are really close to each other. Personette may have a shot at getting this lead if he peeks up to the outside. He doesn't have any room. 5 laps to go. The last time we were here at Daytona... Oh, no, trouble! That's going to be everybody! Caution is out. And the race is over. I think the race is definitely over at this point. Well, you already have your top 3, but getting turned sideways, the worst luck. Michael Fennelson, you had a great momentum run. Laria may be coming away with the lead unofficially. As the 4th and final caution is out here at Daytona. We'll see what happened here. It looks like coming out of the trial, the number 8 moves into the inside, moves into the 77. Just maybe trying to side draft, I'm not sure, but that takes out the 99. That took out the 5 of Tice as well, who flips over multiple times. Same with the 14. Hard shot to the inside wall was a 28 of Dyson. And I believe his engine is pretty much done. I am not 100% sure as of yet. Let's take another look once again, however, at a replay here. Focusing on the 5 and the 14. Yeah, I'm not sure what's with that bump there in the apron where the grass has been removed. Probably that's where the contact of the grass was originally. And they just, Iverson did not remove that, but I'm honestly not sure at the moment. But either way, another replay coming up on board Dyson. Oh, yeah, I'm surprised the engine's still running after that one. So the race is unofficially over at this point, but it is not officially over as of now. We are on lap 97 of 100, so 2 laps to go at the start-finish line for the 44 of Michael Laria. So just waiting a few moments, the lights will not be going out because it is 2 laps to go, and while no green-white checkers here. So officially under caution, so that second flash indicates they're under a full pace lap. First of, I believe, 3. We have 2 laps to go. Someone's engine is heavily smoking. That's a 28. I don't think that's the best move. If it is, I'd say at least drive on the apron. Oh, wait, someone... Oh, Grant Davis, his engine is... I heard someone's engine blow up. That was Grant Davis. Oh, no. After finally getting up to second through that wreck, Grant Davis is just better off parking it at this point. The engine will not run. His race is over officially, as his engine had exploded. Yeah, there it goes. So unfortunately for Grant Davis, he is out of this race within the final 2 laps. The same may be happening soon if the 28 continues to drive on that smoking engine. But other than that, 6 drivers officially out of this race. 7 drivers actually, if you count the 24 being in pit road, pretty much out of the race. So 7 drivers are out of this race out of 31 drivers. That's not too bad, especially for a Daytona. We had a little bit of a bigger one earlier on, and that's with the second caution. So it's the white flag this time by, as it is lap 99 of 100. I may be incorrect on that. Hold on a second. I may be way incorrect. Going to double check that just for a quick second. 2 laps to go. Sorry. I was misreading the ATVO timing. I thought it was laps complete. But nope, it's actually the how many laps we are on. So pretty much just like any other scoring. So 2 laps to go this time by. We may be getting a green flag. I don't think we will. No, we won't. We have gotten the 1 green this time by. So at this point, everyone's just riding around under caution, nothing really to do except just bring it home into the bring it home to the end of the race. And that was correct on the 28 machine, riding around on that smoking engine. His engine is also let go, so he is also out of this race. Matthew Rodriguez, who's been sitting in pit road for 31. Matthew Rodriguez is going to finish 24th after sitting on pit road for 31 minutes 58.2 seconds. That is commitment. He's 32 laps down, but he's still finishing the race. That is great commitment from him. So it's the final lap here. And it's an anticlimactic final lap, unfortunately. But fortunately for Michael Laria, he will be getting the checkered flag here. Damian Leninger will be finishing second, third place. Your pole sitter, Shane Terrian. I have a sneaking suspicion that the 4 has run out of fuel. I may be incorrect. I'm incorrect. It's getting bump drafted by the 14. So I assumed he was out of fuel for a few moments. Maybe a little bit of a congratulatory bump either way. So down the back straightaway we go. We could pretty much go over the finishing results at this point, but we will wait. Into turns 3 and 4 at a not so staggering speed of I believe 70 to 75 miles an hour, so highway speeds. And off turn number 4, being led by the pace car from the 4th and final caution. The 44 of Michael Laria will be the victorious driver here at Daytona International Speedway for the first race of the season. The one surviving driver of Flatout Motorsports wins here tonight And the race is officially over, so we'll be going through your finishing results here as of right now. So it's Michael Laria, as everyone just turns each other at the end of the race. Damian Leininger, second. Third place, Shane Terrian. Fourth place, Robert F. Kenny. Casey Shua, Michael Fennelson, Joseph Tice, Joshua Personette, Bronson Stafford, and Adam de Blasio are your entire top 10 for this race. 11th is going to be Jesse Carr. Chris Wright is in 12th. 13th, Tyler Riggs. 14th, Cole Stranahan. 15th, Ryan Hartz. 16th through 20th is Brendan Key, Chris Jordan, Ryan Dyson, Grant Davis, Bradley Burke. Rounding out that top 16, and the rest of your 31-car field: Matthew James, Matt Dyer, Johnny Bolden, Jason Deal, Matthew Rodriguez, William Kruska, Thomas Bresci III, Cody Griffin, Tyler Hensley, Joshua Adams, 21st through 30th, and finally Philip Radicic finishing in the final position. There's the 44 from this little bit of fisheye lens that we have here as he will burn it down here at Daytona. Landscapers will not be happy about this one. I can easily tell you that for sure. If he does a straight line through the Daytona logo, that would be great. Oh, he's not going to. Oh, well, close enough, I guess. It's just above it. I guess it's best to not anger the landscapers even more. A little bit of spin, so congratulations to Michael Laria. We may be getting a top 3 interview. It just depends on who is or is not available, but other than that, at the moment, I'll be standing by here in just a few moments as Michael just nails the cone and goes straight through the grass once again. I think so. Yeah, I think he heard. Yep, he heard. And through the Daytona logo, there it is. It's going to park there for a perfect camera angle for sure. I actually wonder what it looks like from the start-finish line. Oh, his car just got removed. So we will stand by here for at least your race winner interview here in just a few moments' time. Until then, we will be right back here in just a few moments.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
So it looks like we'll just be heading out for the time being, but until then, though, that was a very great first race here from the Flatout Racing League. 4 cautions here at Daytona as Michael Laria is victorious for the first race of the season after a finish under caution. And, well, just in case you were interested, oh goodness, in the future races here on the Racing Line Broadcasting Network, of course, we'll be bringing you the next 9 races of the Flatout Racing League over the next 10, or over the next 9 weeks in this case, of their season. Also coming up on the Racing Line Broadcasting Network tomorrow night at Talladega at, I believe, 8 p.m. I'm hoping 8 p.m. Just going to double check that time for a quick second. Yes, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's going to be the Flatout, goodness, wrong league. The Red Light Scrambler Series on Monday nights. They're going to be heading for their first race of their playoffs. So top 12 drivers will be battling it out for the positions, and you don't want to end up in the final 2 positions, or else they will get eliminated. They do have 2 chances to save themselves, 2 races per round. And then just after that on Thursday, upcoming Thursday, 34 laps at the Fuel Jetstream Media IndyCar Series at Circuit of the Americas as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what that road course will have in store for that league. And then of course next week for the Flatout Racing League, it will be the Cage Cup Series essentially here. It will also be Rockingham Speedway coming back to the Cup schedule. Hopefully this happens in the future in real life, but until then we will be signing off from Daytona. So congratulations once again to Michael Laria, and as we sign off, I have been Gary Weaver, and I thank you for watching. So we hope to see you tomorrow night, but if not, well, just subscribe to the channel for more races and notifications as well on upcoming broadcasts. Thanks again for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Good night from Daytona.